then yeah, but I'm not doing that, bro. Hey, lads triggered today, bro. I tell you, man, post not clarity is meant to make you see sense, bro. It's not making man see sense. And Ishmael, this is it. This is what I try to say. I think we're not miles away from top four, but we're gonna be light years ahead of the title challenges. But if we listen, consistency for a long period, winning games, very rarely over a 38 game period are you gonna have the perfect game. Arc City, they haven't had many perfect games other than when they're really turning it around. There's only going to be a handful of games where everything Arteta has planned for, it works. Other than that, it's another case. So if you can show consistency in terms of getting top four, winning games you're supposed to lose, not losing when you're supposed to, even, claiming a draw when you shouldn't have, and you can show you can get top four, then obviously with some improvements, you can do several things. Bro, I appreciate opinions, but come on, bro. Like, come on, man. It's socially outcasted. It doesn't matter when you've tuned in, man. The glorious thing about YouTube, it can be rewinded and all that sort of stuff. And we've got a couple more things to speak about, man. People aren't coming for me. They're just coming for me because this is the one thing I hate about YouTube. They're not coming for me personally. They're just, because I don't want to say their exact opinion word for word, because I have a thought of my own. This is why I tell you, lot, I'm not here to tell you anything. I'm here for you lot just to think. I like when you lot say, I like bloggers' comments. He's not wrong in some of the things he's saying, but he's wrong to me. I'm not right. He's not right. I'm not wrong. He's not wrong. Football is a funny game of opinion. Just don't force your opinions down people in life. It's not good. Oh, but dear, I appreciate you, but you're gonna have to scroll back, man. I'm not going over things. And half the season means nothing, bro. When you finish eighth, Arteta didn't come in halfway through this season, did he? Again, as much as I like Arteta and I'm actually wanting to get it right, I respect Pep's opinions. Fact, you can state facts. Facts are we're eighth. Like, facts are, we talking about Liverpool, they're ahead of us and they've been better than us. Like, those are also facts. But as I was saying, we could, as much as I like Arteta and I'm fond of him, bro, you were eighth last year, you're eighth now. More points, whatever, you're eighth. That's it. You didn't take through mid-season, so we're eighth. And then we heard give him a full seat last season, give him a full season, rightly so. He finished eighth. Give him a pre-season. So I'm expecting a real top four race. That's all, man. Wilson has said, DG, you know what's funny? Sometimes you're talking to rockheads, reason, Rummy, get through. Don't try to convince them, bro. Your opinion is back with reason. That's all you need. But, bro, just drop some sense, bro. Like, it's when man just force it, bro. When does top stop becoming the target when we're bottom half or something? Well, the target has to be top four because that's the only way to pull it out of where we've been really and truly. That should be the only ambition for me. You definitely don't want to look below that. You definitely don't. Well, if you can't qualify in Europe, I guess by basics you should be challenging Europe in any capacity. But you don't want to target Europa League. You don't want to target conference. Pretty stupid to suggest. Not say you, but we can't sit here and say league title challenges. Really and truly, unless it's a sort of Leicester season with respect to what happened then. So the target has to be top four. There's no medals for top four, but it is what it is, man. I don't think many people are expecting top four, but do I think Arteta can, this or not? That's where I have a problem with what you're saying. Do I think a lot of these players are not good enough? But do I think that everyone above them in the top four is in the top four because they're better players, because they've been better? They've got better players? Not necessarily, because we've had chances to win games and we've dropped stupid points. And sometimes it's been because of several reasons, some of it with Arteta. So that doesn't really make sense. And the simple question I'd ask, do you honestly believe that we couldn't have put in more of a fight? Because we was actually in it. So this is where I say where people are looking at extremes. You're either ridiculously negative and don't give Arteta any sort of leeway in that this squad isn't levels, or you're ridiculously positive and you don't have any accountability and act like this team can't get anything. Bro, West Ham have scored more goals than us. Our home form is atrocious. Our consistency has been appalling. These are all things way before I talk about how good Chelsea, Liverpool, all these teams are. We can arrest ourselves. Please, fans, please look at it without emotion and not just what you want to see and hear. It's the scariest thing about life. It's very scary. But moving on, I appreciate everybody else locked in, man. Moving forward, DG, are you signing the thing? Arsenal long-term solid fullback partnership, Kieran Tierney and DG. Well, to be fair, we could do a back three, Tierney as part of the defense. I don't mind, man. 2 games a season, why not? I ain't trying to play against City or Liverpool, though. It's a madness. It's an absolute madness. Exactly. We have to be real, but some people can't handle the truth, DG. Facts, man. Bro, you don't see negativity from Liverpool and City fans. That's because their teams play for them. Negativity doesn't come from nowhere, and Arsenal's performances have created it. I'd have to ask Liverpool fans, but you might have something there, man. Bro, we could have easily been in Europe, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bro, where's transfer mark for the fixtures, man? No, man. Because we could have easily, coulda, woulda, shoulda, bro. It's not. I think we could have scumbag Champions League. Do I think this squad is good enough? No, but they defo could have got Champions League. Let's not cap. Defo, because there's many points this season we could have taken advantage of everybody effing up. Look at West Ham and Leicester, 2 examples. We could have done something like that. Now, obviously, they're both in Europa League, but every variable was in Leicester's hands. Yes, they have a better squad than us, but did they have a better squad when everyone's fit against Liverpool, against Chelsea? City have been running away with it against United. Probably some might say yes, some people might say no, but them Leicester players were serious. You know, from James Justin to Jamie Vardy, they were serious. They were playing for their managers. They had accountability. That's before you talk about how good other people were. So what are we really talking about? Really and truly, what are we talking about? Like, we were 100% good enough. Like, if you don't feel we was good enough, that you lot can do what you want. I don't think this squad is my cup of tea, but they definitely could have made more of a challenge of it. Therefore, could have made more of a meal of it. Realistically, when were we out of it? Because for me, we were out of the top 4 race December times, regardless of what the league might have said. So, therefore, could have, man. You know, this is where we need to stop looking for excuses and just speaking nonsense, man. When does top 4 stop becoming a target, bro? When you get it and you get it consistently and you can look above to the league and all these other things and all of that sort of stuff. You can't, until you can get that consistently, you can't do nothing else. It's not making sense. With all due respect, my guy, you can't, bro. You can't. This is it. This is it. It was alive till then. This is it. So when at some point you have to take accountability, man. So yeah, man. What's your opinion on Florentina striker? You know, I can't say his name. Vlahovic, the big guy, the solid guy. I like him. You know, I like him. I'm not wowed yet, if that makes sense. I haven't seen that because when I watch players, I like to be wowed, didn't it? Like before I scream, yeah, Arsenal sign. I can tell he's a good player. I like how he plays with his back to go. I like his link-up play. But before I can scream, yeah, bring him in, bring him in, I need to be wowed. If someone else has been wowed, then I hear that in it. But I haven't seen that yet in his play, man. Inger said last summer, club had to sell players before signing new. Arteta had no money given to him. We can't blame him. Yo, and this is what I said. They left. I've said that at the start. They left him short. They short-handed him. You brought in, you know, he's a new manager. You brought in Partey without a target. But, you know, on one hand, a good tradesman can only be as good as the tools he's got, but a good tradesman has to work it. Because when he was getting a tune out of Mustafi and all of these players this season as well, people weren't saying that. And this is where I said that is a factor. But then, you know, when we look beyond that, is that a reason for us losing certain games? I don't think it is. But it is a factor, man. I hate when we blame players. I blame the players more than Arteta, 100%. Because these players, Arteta shouldn't have to tell you much. These players should have a burning desire to make top 4. It shouldn't matter. Beyond what Arteta is telling to do tactically, he shouldn't have to sit there and tell you things. And that's one thing I'll give Arteta. It's like he sat there. So as much as I can find criticism of him, moving away from his accountability, there's been times where he has planned to a T. You can hear by the way the man's speaking in the press conference, he's planned for this. The players have taken heed. Whoever's there sitting next to him offering it, and then they've gone and effed it up, started poorly, switching off. These are things that there's many things. I think Arteta has got to the end of his tether improving us defensively. Looking at us defensively, it's a thing for me. He needs a centre half. He needs that in the attacking sense. None of them man are doing enough. None of them. Joe Willock's outscoring, man. So what's going on there? This is the problem. You know, you need to look between. Someone can't be praised whenever we win and then whatever. Like I said, how many players was he praised for initially? So you can't then turn the corner. There needs to be consistency. There is a manager in the guy, but I believe in holding everyone to accountability. And everyone has to. You can't tell me Arteta, the players. I don't think anybody is saying Kroenke is blameless when we're 8th. Come on. Arteta has to demand and implement better discipline, less favoritism. I'd say the only real concerns I've had with Arteta is his stubbornness at times. His favoritism has cost him. I'd say he really needed to arrest that lack of creativity, and that shot him in the foot. Keeping faith in Willian, and I would also say at times when we've had multiple competitions, I think he struggled to just rest Xhaka or just be sensible with several players. I think he struggled in that regard, really. Following the, but like I said, if you gave me the Arteta's game management has been a mystery for greater parts this season. That's something him and the players can improve in. 100%, man. You can't blame Arteta. By the end of the day, he's a manager. He has a part to play, and this is it. If we won the league, if we got top 4, are you not going to praise the players, or is it all Arteta? And I don't want this to become an Arteta out campaign. Top 4 will be very difficult, but again, still no excuse not to make more of a meal of it. Same way Leicester for 2 years straight, regardless of spending, have done it. West Ham might falter next season, but they popped up. You know, it's the beauty of it is there's many things we can ask ourselves. So what are you saying? Just because their man have better things than us, we just have to sit over and accept it? By that logic, we should be finishing 5th then. You know, if you can't finish top 4, finish 5th. You can't be finishing 7th. And I love the club as well, Bowie, man. When you see West Ham above you, you know there's room for improvement. It's just about being honest, bro. Like, man, don't want to be honest. Top 4 was alive till April, brother, 100%. And let's not forget, Leicester had injuries. Micah, 100%. Them man, they had injuries. And I don't think United fans or Man United fans are protesting the fact that they finished second. They don't want the Glazers there. And I support United fans for doing such. And any fans trying to get owners out that are not serious, big up yourself, Kay. What have you said? I was hoping we didn't secure Europe over 2 decades in Europe and no European trophy. It means nothing. We need to improve in the league. Our position speaks loud. Only consistent thing about us. The consistently inconsistent is an issue, man. It is an issue. And this is it. And for me, it's not just 6 points. I look at the double headers against Villa, the Wolves games, the inability to break down Crystal Palace at home. You know, Wolves, the red card played a part, but we didn't do all our jobs. There's many games where, of course, it might be 6 points because that gives the impression that we weren't good enough for 2 games over the 38-game calendar. So for 36 games, we were certified, right? Not saying you, Franklin, but that's what fans are doing with, right? Or from whatever period till whenever they edited the league title, we was perfect, right? They know more than me, man. They know more than me. And I'm just a humble man with my opinions. My opinion isn't below or above anyone else's, but what I can, and I like to look at evidence. I like to call a spade a spade. I don't like to lie to myself. And I think many fans are lying to themselves. Do I expect us to improve next season? Damn right, better will. Damn well need to improve. And weirdly enough, I still back this guy. Like, he vexes me, but I still back him. What, like I said, Arteta, I don't back him blindlessly. There's every reason to sack him. If it's Gazy in December, he needs to go. We all know Kroenke needs to go. But there's something likable about Arteta. I can't lie. Like I said, if he left tomorrow, I'm not going to cry. If he stays, I'm backing him. I like the gaffer, but he just vexes me at times with some of the stuff. And like I said, if you're a parent, you love your son or daughter or whatever, but if you see them doing dumb stuff or not doing things that are sensible, you're onto them, aren't you, people? Anyone would. So let's look at this. We were 6 points off them, right? How many of these games were we amazing? How many, there's a credibility in how you lose. How many times did any of these teams take the points from us? Fair enough, the Liverpool game was Kalam, but that was a write-off at the time. West Ham, Eddie saved us. We were perfect against Fulham, City, we tried a thing in City. I'm prepared to write that one off. We had to turn it around in the second half against Sheffield United. We were sloppy, and Arteta lost the tactical battle against. Sorry, Franklin, your thing's in the way. He lost the Let me zoom in a bit. Is that zooming in enough? Yeah, here we go. He lost the Oh, sorry, people. I've zoomed in on StreamYard as well. It's looking collapsed. But yeah, We beat Fulham. Fair play. Willian did his thing. We needed Eddie to save us in that game. I'll write off the Liverpool game. We could have done things better, but you know, I'm prepared to just concede them teams there. They smacked us in it. Second half against Sheffield United. Fair enough. We lost against City. Lost the tactical battle against Leicester, Brendan Rodgers. United, we did our thing. Credit where due. Terrible performance. Again, we're just never in it. Was all calamity. I more blame the players for Aston Villa. You know, Leeds 0-0. Again, Pepe shot us in the foot. The tactics were a bit mad from Arteta, but we did what we needed to do. Wolves, Nuno beat him tactically. Spurs, Jose beat him tactically. You remember how they just sat back? Bellerin and Xhaka got picked apart. Partey was not fully fit for the game. So out of them so far, this is my point. Everyone has a part to play, people. Every damn person has a part to play in this thing. Everyone. As you can see, it's been a mixture. Sometimes players are going to Arteta is going to set us up perfectly. The players F it up. Sometimes it's going to be the other way around, people. But my point being, everyone is accountable, because so far, I'm blaming the players more. The Leicester and Villa game, Leicester, Villa, Wolves, Dean Smith, because you lot can go through my YouTube count. Dean Smith, Brendan Rodgers, and Nuno, they beat Arteta tactically. The players were appalling as well in half of these games. But yeah, I think the players lost the game against City because they just had an inferior complex. To a degree, Liverpool the same. Spurs, that's on Arteta for me against Jose. So again, the players are playing, but so far, Dean Smith, Brendan Rodgers, Nuno and Jose, he's lost them battles. And especially, it's not even been from the start. It's been when they've changed things. Second, we were all on to Leicester at the Emirates. Brendan Rodgers, changed things. We didn't take heed of that. Dean Smith changed things. We didn't take heed of that. Spurs from the start, you could see what they were on. Wolves was a calamity for a variety of reasons. We let ourselves, the players let us down against Burnley, and we were just in a poor run of form, as they did against Southampton, switching off. But if I remember correctly, the formation, I'm sure Eddie Nketiah unnecessarily, he assisted, but started this game. That's where I'm on to him. Everton, again, I'm on. It's the both of them, because the players were switching off and they were undoubtedly poor. But then you look at it, you played against Yerry Mina and Michael Keane with Eddie Nketiah. Again, you're not picking the right personnel, and we were terrible. So far, Carlo. How many times have I said it's the players' faults? And I feel some of them, but I've said Arteta. My point being is not to just scapegoat Arteta or scapegoat the players, saying everyone's the effing to blame. Really, the whole season is a byproduct of not doing business in the summer, which is on the people above Arteta, and to a degree I do. So you get my point. This is what I mean about, you can say one variable is to blame more, which for me is the Kroenkes, but you can see the cocktail being made now, people, as to why the season's happened. Fair enough, we did our thing against Chelsea. Arteta, tactics spot on, players spot on. Did what we needed to do against Brighton. Did what we needed to do against West Brom. Then we're back here. I don't necessarily think this was on Arteta. It's mainly our inability to break down low blocks. The only thing I could say with Arteta is what I've been saying all season, in that creativity, not getting the best out of our front line, is on him. But the players didn't really fashion much. You know, we beat Newcastle, we did our thing. But even that, the game started opening up in the second half because they had us. Again, we struggled to break down low blocks. Good result against Southampton, credit where due. You know, we could have won the game against United. We could have lost. End of the day, we took 4 points off United. Credit where due. Everybody involved did their thing. Once again, VAR played a major point, but we was only amazing for 20 minutes and did nothing against Wolves. Terrible day for everyone. I'd say more the players than anything. Once again, Arteta's tactics against Aston Villa then came into play. Arteta got his tactics spot on against Leeds, in my opinion. Once again, you know, I swear Arsenal versus City was the game Rob Holding let Sterling score and we started slow. Once again, I blame the players, because, again, you need to start strong. We came back from behind. Players stood up to be counted. Arteta, cool. You know, Burnley, we weren't at it. Spurs, we did our thing. You know, West Ham, I'll discount everything because that was just a crazy game. And we showed fight, heart and determination. Liverpool, terrible day for everybody. We did what we needed to do against Sheffield. Terrible day again. I said how many times did I say I'm in the build up to these games? When we buck Fulham, it's going to be a different Fulham, and they showed it, you know. Again, I'm more onto the players against Fulham and the players against Everton, because Everton tried really hard to F it up in that game. Did what we needed to do against Newcastle, West Brom, you know, tactics spot on against Chelsea. People can sit here and say how poor Chelsea were. Arsenal, we can't take heed of that. It's a strong end to the season, without a doubt, when there's been no real pressure on us. You know, no real pressure. But again, man, sit here and say 6 points. That's your, again, I don't do the ifs buts thing, but we tried so hard to lose that. You know, Everton tried their best to draw that with us. Even Carlos said we lost that. We had to thank our goalkeeper for somehow playing well in the corner, which led to Eddie scoring. Eddie saved our bacon here. I'm not so much looking at the top games, but if you started and finished better, that could have been 3 points. This could have been 3 points. Suddenly you're on 6. Do you get it? The West Ham game was crazy, but we started very poorly. We showed fight to get back in it. Where is that? That's 2 points dropped. That's 8 points. Again, my maths is poor, but so I'm not going to keep counting. But again, the Burnley draw, did we, stupid points. Sometimes we've started strong, ended slow. Sometimes we've started slow, ended strong. Sometimes, whether we've won, lost, or drawn, the consistencies have been there in being inconsistent. I don't really want to focus on the City games and things because to me, they're write-offs. But again, Villa twice, Wolves, the reverse fixture against Southampton. Again, so this is why I have a problem saying when man are sitting here and saying, oh, we're only a point off this, we're only a point off that. It's not true, is it? It's true mathematically, but when you look, every game tells a story and points towards our season. And this is what I was doing way before YouTube, because this is how I've always thought about football. So I don't know about you lot. I don't know if you lot watch games twice like me. I don't know if you lot consider things like this, because I think some of you don't when you come out with some of the tosh you do, but I respect everyone's opinion. So it's not 6 points. It's not 6 points, because that tells me that for 36 games was amazing. Does this look like a team that was doing their job for 36 of 38 games? You lot tell me. So again, the devil is in the details. / only 6 points off top 4, man. It's all what you want to see. And for me, I see that as building blocks. And this is what I'm saying as well. If we quickly go back over there, people, how many of these games that we lost, focusing on the L's now, how many of these losses, people, would you say, yo, they earned it? Liverpool never cut us up. We was timid. City never cut us up. We gave them that, as great as they were. And again, I'm not trying to focus on the top games. Leicester, we didn't take heed of what we needed to take heed. Terrible day against Wolves, in amongst a terrible patch for us as well since that United win, which should have been the platform. The players should have seen that as a platform. And this is where I'm saying Arteta can only say so much. The players should be thinking, yo, from August to the end of the season, to December, from December to February, from February to May, or saying things like, all right, cool, we got Fulham first day of the season. Them and West Ham, 6 points. Liverpool, we try a thing. If it doesn't happen, back to business against Sheffield. Then we got City. Let's try a thing. We do what we need to do against Leicester. We try a thing. All right, the United games come. We ain't won there in X amount of years. We're making sure we win that. Then you sit there and you say, that's a passage to build upon. That should have fueled you lot. But again, you can see how inconsistent we are. The same Arsenal that did a thing against United, whether they were poor at that time, then started effing up in other games. This is where I don't think Arteta can give them talks, because this is what I mean when the hard graft, when you don't want to be there, when you've got the Premier League sandwiched in between Europe and things, when you don't want to play in this competition, in all these comps, when I'm sure some of you would like to be with your families and it's cold and the games are coming thick and fast and you're getting kicked left, right, and center. This is the moments I need to see the players specifically, not Arteta, because this is the period where anything Arteta has told you lot should be taking heed and using it to drive you. This is what I've said. Some of these players that have been here for been part of this club will be failing for a minute now. They should be, when they're in this period, people, they should be using that to fuel them. So again, you're seeing the picture. So again, like you can see, Aston Villa was terrible. You can't tell me we stood up to be counted and they earned them points. They won it. But did they take them points over our dead body, or did we just go, I take it? Like half of the losses we have. Half the time we've lost, it's been a defensive shamble, switching off, just been a calamity. We haven't lost with grace in any of these games. Not one. Fair enough. We'll take a draw against Leeds personally, because, that's been a hard ground to go to. 10 men, it's a different game. Alioski, Pepe, it happens in it. It is what it is. Burnley, shot ourselves in the foot. Spurs, shot ourselves in the foot. Everton, shot ourselves in the foot. Southampton, shot ourselves in the foot. More foot shots against Palace. Fair enough. We're doing our thing in these wins. We're putting the wins in when, I won't say there's no pressure, but, it's not consistent, bro. When it needs to be. Again, I don't mind a point against United. Them things, they happen. It is what it is. We did start winning games, but again, did we make Wolves work for them 3 points? Did we make Villa work for those 3 points? Did we make City work for them 3 points? Did we make Liverpool work for them 3 points? You know, I remember that game specifically. We handed those 3 goals to Liverpool. Just because Liverpool are better side than us doesn't mean we don't make things tough. We've seen we're better than a couple teams that have taken points off Liverpool. Belief is half the job. And we've had an inferior complex. You could blame that on our tail, but I think that's on the players to have the bottle. You know, Fulham, lucky to draw. You know, and then we finished the season wrong. So this is what I'm saying. When you lot say, "Oh, you can blame Arteta," no, it's all Arteta, it's all the players, it's all this, it's all that, it's everyone. Everyone's played a fucking part in this, people. So stop doing it's just Arteta, it's just the players. Unless you just want to blame Kroenke, then I'm all on that. We're all in this together. We win, lose, and draw this bloody thing together. If we are to get back in the top 4 or get into Champions League and do all of those things, it's not just going to be just because Arteta or just the players or just this or just that. It's every bloody person connected to this club. So you lot, please stop the nonsense. Please. I respect your opinions, but please. This is why I have a tough time, because people are just on this agenda's BS and it's not getting anywhere. It's not helping anyone. So everyone is accountable, you know. Everyone is accountable, man. Every bloody person connected to this team is accountable to this nonsense. We do need to focus on the league and strengthening the squad. We have fallen behind. We're not falling, we've fallen behind, man. Fallen behind. On a positive note, shout out to Zed Blogger. Hey, he's my guy. You're still my guy, and he's my guy, people. I don't want you to think something of mine, man, just because he has a different opinion. I welcome these things. In hindsight, do you think we should have focused on the league over Europa? Focus on them both, man. I know it's easier said than done, but man, I have to focus on both of them, in my opinion. Like, you have to focus on both of them.